Orit bat Marusa, Rav Igal ben Yael. For good Parnasa, Ellen ben Zion, or Ilan ben Zion, or good Ilan. And Boina. מה זה? מה כתוב פה? רחמים? רחמים בן, where's the I? רחמים בן אליעזר. And להבדיל, לעילוי נשמת מרים בת פרחה, and רחמים בן משיח. Yes, honey.
Lisa Batsara.
Lisa Batsara. No problem. Guys, I'm going to ask you a question. And I'm going to, at the beginning, we're going to have a little bit of a give and take ideas. And I'm going to ask you this. What would turn you off from religion? Yes. Anybody wants to write it, by the way? Just, oh, you know what? Do me a favor. Keep track of it. Yes. I can't hear you.
Other religions.
Other religions will make you turn off from your religion? Okay, okay, fine. Remember that one, yes.
Like when you see religious people not acting the way they're supposed to.
When you see religious people acting not the way they're supposed to. It's a classic, yes. But you said it's a new one, but it's a classic. Yes, other ones. Guys, come on, don't be shy. I know you all have a belly full of ideas. No?
When you just don't feel like it.
You don't feel like it. Okay. Other ones, yes.
Your own personal desires.
I cannot hear you.
Your personal desires are taken over by the wishes of your religion.
Your personal desires are being taken over by the wishes of religion. Man, these are good stuff. I like it. Yes, other ones. Come on, guys. I work very hard. You know, I collected. I have my own list of things that I collected. So, huh?
Faith in God.
Faith in God. What faith in God? That will turn you off from religion? Or you don't, huh?
Belief.
Belief what?
In God.
Lack of belief. Okay. So that will turn you off from religion. Okay. Other ones. No. Yeah, 1 second. Oh, yes, yes. I'm sorry? Commitment. Afraid of commitment, should I say. Afraid of commitment. That's a good one. Anybody? All of a sudden, Tzaddikim, I love you. Other ones, yes.
The way your society functions, it goes counter.
The way society functions counters
It's counter your religion.
your religion.
Doesn't follow its precepts.
Terrific, yes. Come on, guys.
When you pray for something, there's no change.
When you pray for something, there's no change. Okay. Other ones? Huh? Shidduchim will make you turn off religion. Shidduchim or lack of control on your behalf to commit yourself to, yes, oh yeah, I got that one, yes. Other ones, no?
Too many laws and restrictions.
Wait, that was mine. That was mine here. Yeah, what? No, come on, guys.
You don't see the purpose of religion.
You don't see the purpose of religion. Okay, that goes in a different category. That goes in a different category. I'll show you. Yeah.
Waking up early, Shacharit.
Waking up early for Shacharit. That will make you turn off religion?
No, I'm just saying, if I had to pick like the most slightest negative thing, Hasu Shalom, or
Hold on 1 second. You said here something very important. You did say something very important. I will have to pick up something slightly, what?
negative.
Negative. Yofi. I like that one.
And Hasu Shalom.
And okay. Chaz v'shalom, it's okay, yeah. Tzaddik v'tov lo, rasha v'ra lo. That's good. The other way around. Okay. Therefore, injustice in the way God controls the world. I like that one. Yeah, Moshe.
Not seeing justice.
Not seeing justice. According to who? Remember, according to who? Yeah, anyone. You want me to give you my list? Huh? Mine are better. Hold on. Too many rules. Good one, right? That's not for me. Too many rules. Seeing religious people doing bad things or acting religious, right, makes me turn off from religion. That's a good one, right? Many times I heard this here from guys who are too shy. Because I know why you're shy. It's not that you're shy, because you're afraid. You know why you're afraid? Because you know you step into a pit. So I'll speak for you if you don't mind. Our Yetzer Hara. We want to do whatever we want, and we don't want anybody to tell us what to do. We're lazy. Everything that I do in religion, even if it's a little thing, turns out to be something bad with it. I'm pressured that if I do something once, I will have to do it again. So because of that, I don't do religion. Right? Well, we heard this a couple of times, right? Remember this, we heard this. Watching people who claim to be religious acting beep, beep. You fill the gap. They cheat. They beat their wives. Liars. Crooked businessmen. And I'm going to go, Belina, there, one by one, to show you exactly what the problem here, but I'll say something else. Some stupid statements that rabbi makes turns me away from religion. What makes me go away, to be turned off on religion, is to see those women put the wigs on their heads and pretend that they are modest. I don't know about you, but I told you I'm a person of patterns. I like patterns. There is one pattern in what you all said. And I'll tell you what the pattern is. Something that is common to everything you guys said and I said. And there's things that I hear people saying all the time. Let me ask you, for example, about crooked businessmen. Every businessman that you know is honest. Everybody else that is not religious is able to make a commitment. Do you know for a fact that religious men beat their wives? What? Shelters for women is only filled with religious women? I didn't know that you're so much under control of other people. Too many rules? Did you look at your tax return? You know how many rules you have to be just a citizen of the city? Of society? I can go to each and every one of you, and you can bring one, and I can argue it, and I can bring one, and you can argue it, and so on and so forth, and we're not going to reach any conclusion on that, because you keep on bringing arguments, I'll keep on knocking them, and then I'll bring it, and then you knock it. So therefore, we're not going to accomplish anything. That's why we need to look at something else. We need to look at the pattern. And there were many excuses, more than we can think, of why would a person will break away from religion, would not want to get close to religion, would not want to get close to God, to His people. But before I'm going to tell you what it is, I want to tell you a story. One time there was a wise man. It wasn't me, somebody else. It was a wise man. And he was giving a lecture. And in that lecture, the lecture was about happiness and so on. There was a guy who was dressed up with a very expensive suit. I mean, top of the line. He had bling pouring off him, jewelry. He came to this sage and he said to him, what is it that I need to give up in order to experience true happiness, internal peace. The sageman said to him, like anything in life, there are bad news and there are good news. The good news are that you don't really have to give up anything. You don't have to be poor to have internal peace. You don't have to give up your clothes, your jewelry, to experience true happiness. You don't. You could be rich, you could be wealthy, and you could be in a state of eternal and internal peace. You will be able to experience happiness. That's not the problem. The problem is, and that's the bad news, you have to give up the way you think. You have to give up the way you think. The common denominator between all the excuses, besides the one that I said this is to the side, is they are all negative. They're not even intellectual in terms of an intellectual argument. They're all negative. It's all about what is not. You see, for example, a religious person who is a crook. Let me ask you a question. Why didn't you choose to see the millions of religious people who are completely honest? What is it that we are so obsessed with being negative? I'm going to show you. We'll start with the statement. You know the statement, you are what you eat? You are what you think. You are what you think. Now, I'm not going to give you so much words of Chazal and verses from the Torah. I'm going to give you what you guys like. Let's talk science. Okay? I did my research. And by the way, I even made a copy, which I'm going to read to you straight from a textbook. We're going to explain it. According to scientists, a person thinks, because we can measure thinking by pulses, by chemical exchange in the brain, about 60,000 times a day. That is the time that he is awake. 60,000 times. If you take about 18 hours that the person is awake, of course we're talking about those who don't use pot, etc., that there's very little to think with. But an average person thinks about 60,000 times a day, which is an average of about 1 to 1.2 thoughts a second. Now, take this number. 95% of the thoughts that we have are thoughts that we already had. Thoughts that we thought yesterday, the day before yesterday, and it's reoccurring thoughts. In a way, it's like we have a CD-ROM on a loop. It keeps on playing and playing and playing over and over and over and over again, those thoughts over again. So far, so good, right? We are thinking. We think. The problem is with the numbers, which I'm going to tell you now. 80% from those habitual thoughts, the thoughts that we habit on all the time, are negative. 80%. That's about 45,000 negative thoughts a day. Now take that and smoke it. In psychology, it's called ANT, automatic negative thought. And the reason why, by the way, I'm using that because it'll be very hard for you to argue with that. And I did trap you on purpose. If you're going to take a CAT scan of the brain, and you would scan your brain, you would see that the area of the brain that is most active when you engage in negative thoughts is the same area of the brain which gets active when you are depressed. It's the same area of the brain. When you have cases of depression, when you have cases of anxiety, negativeness, anxiety are generated from the same spot of your brain that generates bad or negative thoughts. In other words, bad thoughts, negative thoughts, I use the word negative, not bad, negative, are not only poison to our body, but also poison to our soul. Now, if you're going to remember what I told you today, and you're going to act upon it, it might be the most important thing you ever heard in your life. And remember this. It's a fact. If you want some example of negative thoughts, which constrict us, they put us like this, is being judgmental, critical. That's negative. You criticize somebody, you're always judgmental. That's negative. Fear is negative. Obsessing on the bad, seeing only bad, obsessive thinking. If you're going to look at the ratio between success and failure, and between those who are positive and negative, you would see that those who are successful are the positive ones. You cannot be successful if you are a negative person or a person who thinks negative all the time. It would restrict you and you would be a failure. Look around you. Look at the success stories of people. They are positive. Most of the people are not. Most of the people are negative, obsessed with negative thoughts, and they're negatives. You want some example for positive thinking? I'll give you that. That would expand you to be accepting of people. Rejection, negative. Accepting, positive. You're not judgmental. You're willing to accept people, ideas. You think. It expands you, makes you bigger. Emunah, belief, trust. You trust people. You're being positive. You don't trust. You're being negative. Security versus fear. It's okay, it's going to be okay. But make sure it's going to be okay. Versus, oh my goodness, this is horrible. The sky is falling. Versus, listen, you know what's the worst that can happen? I don't know, we're going to die. Okay, even that's not so bad. Go to a better place. I'm not saying be la-di-da-di-da. Be positive. You'll generate. You'll be able to accomplish, to do things. You're looking forward. How many people do you know get up in the morning looking forward for the day ahead of them? How many people do you know get up in the morning and saying, man, thank God I got another day. It's the best day of my life ahead of me. Oh, you're saying, oh, goodness, another day. I can't take this. I can't take another day. I wish I didn't have to do that. That's negative. Your day is going to be exactly as you designed it. There is never a bad day. Weather-wise, every day is a great day. There's never, oh, it's cloudy, oh, it's a miserable day. It's not miserable, it's cloudy. There is beauty in that as well. The point is you are not willing nor able to see it. So therefore it becomes a bad day. You are what you think. That need of, oh my goodness, what's going to be tomorrow? Is so engraved in our DNA from the time we lived in caves. When you had to worry about what I'm going to eat, you know, I have to go hunting. You didn't open the refrigerator. And so what you have there? You were afraid of dinosaurs or whatever animals were there. It was a survival. In survival mode of such distress, there is no expansion of the person. There's no art, for example. Don't give me caves in France that somebody engraved there because they had nothing else to do because there were lightnings at night. So he engraved these spheres on the wall. I'm talking about art. I'm talking about music. You can do that when you are under distress. When people settle down from hunter-gatherers, it became more agriculture. They said, listen, don't worry. We don't have meat. We plant the food. We plant the seeds. We're going to have bread. We can make it. That is a very important concept to remember. We are letting our fears into us. Scientists call this the paradox of Velcro versus Teflon. The bad, the negative, attaches to us like Velcro. Right away. And if you look at your Velcros, there's always some schmutz there, something on it. The good slips away from your existence like Teflon. You should know that one bad experience or one negative experience would wipe away 100 good experiences. That one person that you saw that did not open the door for an old lady erased for you hundreds of experience of people jumping on the street to let old ladies climb all over them that you forgot, that got stuck into you. It's called Velcro versus Teflon. Our mind is confused. We are programmed for chaos. Did anybody ever saw a news, breaking news about something good that happened? There's never breaking news on something good. There's always breaking news on something bad. What do people like the most?
Violence.
Bad. That's right. News, bad. News at 5, news at 8, news. In Israel, bichlal, it's like, they're like news fetish. Every 15 minutes there's a news brief. I don't want to hear news. I would rather go to an Arabic station that plays 20-minute songs. I don't want to hear news. I had enough of news. You know what we like in the news? What's in the news? Murder, killing, wars, inflation, deflation, oppression, all those things. Bad, bad, bad. Now, the question is, but why does this happen to us? What exactly happened to us that we are so obsessed with this bad? So, with your permission, I'm going to refer to the textbook. But you have to forgive me, for I have a sty in my eye and neglected on bringing my reading glasses. So I'm going to read to you the following. I read to you slowly so you remember. I take my glasses off. Researchers are beginning to understand the psychological reasons why our negative experiences are so sticky. Do you know why? Do you know which part of your body is in charge of that? Close but no cigar. In your brain, doctor, help me out here. If I'm not mistaken, right behind your frontal lobe, on the right side, on the bottom, there is a part, it's called the amygdala. Right, doctor? I would not go that far. I would not go that far, but you were right. It's called the amygdala. The amygdala is the part of our brain's alarm system that triggers the fight or flight response. Do you know what fight and flight response is? When you're in a situation, you need to make a quick assessment. Do I run away or do I stay and fight? Flight and fight. And he goes, this mechanism gets involved in the situation. Now, whatever the amygdala signals fight or flight, your body immediately jacks up your heart rate, releases floods of adrenaline, and sends it this way, and sends other stress hormones cascading into your bloodstream. That adrenaline, according to a recent study conducted by Dr. Jim McCaw at University of California, Irvine, creates stronger memories in your brain than pleasure hormones do. This means that your disturbing experiences are chemically supercharged to stay with you far longer than your happy ones. I'll stop here, I'll continue long in a minute. Do you understand what it means? The way you interpret situations, because you can see something, you say it's good, I can see something, says it's bad. We're going to react to it completely different. It leaves a dent in your soul. You might now understand what I told some of you years ago, why I am so much against watching horror movies. Even though you know it's a movie, but it releases such a surge of adrenaline and other hormones into your body that it engraves your soul. It gets it dirty. And it stays in your head. And you slowly become addicted to it. You just love chaos. But don't forget, it's determined on how you're going to interpret that. Let me just continue. What makes this even a bigger problem is that many of us have amygdalas that are overactive. They trigger the release of adrenaline too easily and too often. Scientists call this having a hot amygdala and say that it is a major obstacle in being happy. It's behind the tendency to have a short fuse, panic easily, and generally makes mountains out of molehills. People with the hottest amygdalas are the drama queens, rageaholics, those who scream and yell, worrywarts, and chronic complainers among us. If you complain or not, I don't care how happy you think you are, you're not. You always complain. If you drive like a maniac in the street, on the road, you have a hot amygdala. It is a paradox of your life. In one end, you want to have pleasure. You know why your pleasures are so bombastic, are so great? You desire such crazy desires. You need like almost an LSD of desires, because the little things don't make any dent in you anymore. You cannot appreciate anything. When you were little things made you happy. Now, became a big brat. And to override what is bad in order to call it pleasure, you need some major dosage of things, jumping off the planes, or going all kind of crazy thing like this. There's no need to do it. I'm going to finish in a second. When the amygdala gets stuck in overdrive, it widens the negative natural pathways in our brains. Remember, as a result, you become depressed. Our minds become overrun with negative thoughts, and we worry, picturing over and over what we don't want to happen, creating anxiety and unhappiness in our lives. We tell ourselves stories based on our stuck old beliefs, also known as SOB stories. Having a hot amygdala has a negative health implication as well. When your amygdala is constantly pushing the flight or fight button, the stress chemicals released into your body build up. And stress, my friends, let me put my glasses on to be more dramatic. Stress will kill you. Not will kill you. Stress kills you. Don't be negative. Sarcasm is negative. Even laughing at other people is negative. Are you sick to have pleasure of somebody else's suffering? What's wrong with you? When you see somebody falling off a slide or sliding off a banana peel, what's so funny about it? It's just letting your negative come out. I'm fine. So, here it is. So what this has to do with religion? I'm going to tell you what it has to do with religion. The Torah tells us, Harchek merah, stay away from bad. Not only bad actions. When the Torah says, Harchek merah, stay away from bad, anything bad. Bad thoughts, bad actions, bad people, and on and on and on. Thank you. The Torah tells us, Ki lekach tov natati lachem. I gave you a good lesson, a good jewel, good, tov. What comes after that? Torati al ta'azovu. Don't leave my Torah. Because the Torah is good. When you choose to break away from religion, you are choosing bad over good, and you're using all the negative in you, all the negative thoughts in you, and as I told you, they are barely intellectuals. They're only negative. What happened to all the good people who do, or religious people who do wonderful things? Why don't you remember that? Because you like to concentrate on negative, because that's what you do in your life all the time. That's where you were programmed. What's wrong with you? The Torah tells us something else. Uvacharta batov, at the end of Sefer Dvarim, and you should choose the good. It's a mitzvah. I'm commanded to choose the good. Why am I commanded to choose the good? I mean, it's obvious, isn't it? I should choose the good. No, it's not so obvious. Because if it wasn't for this commandment to choose the good, we would automatically stick to the bad. And sticking to the bad is not good. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created this world in order to be able to give us and to share with us the good. That's why He created us. When we choose the good, we choose God. When we choose bad, we run away from Him. When we say Birkat HaMazon, U betuvo hagadol, and His great kindness, goodness, tuvo hagadol, with His great good, tamid lo yechsar lanu ve'al yechsar lanu. We should never have to worry about, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu will always give you. So why are you worried? You're worried because you want more than what you deserve. You're not happy. But why are you worried? He'll give you. You should know sadness. Liot atzev, sadness, is rejection. Why? Because a person needs to remember, Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. You need to worship Hashem with joy. You need to be positive and to have joy to worship Hashem. Ivdu et Hashem besimcha. When you are depressed, you cannot be happy. And when you're not happy, you start to criticize, you complain, you blame everybody. And that's the excuses that we started. You would blame everybody and everything why you don't keep religion. Why you are slipping away from religion. Why do you care what this rabbi say? I didn't see you becoming a British citizen because the President of the United States said something that you didn't like. So this rabbi said something you didn't like, that makes you go away from religion? Give me a break. Impossible. These are all, what was the term again? The intellectual term? Stuck old beliefs. SOB stories. These are stories. One needs to remember, and we finish with this because we have to daven Arvit. As I said to you before, many people don't live faith or join faith because of intellectual problems. Many times it's because they were too lazy or too obsessed in being negative. They never allowed themselves to really taste what is called emunah amiti, true belief. It's like a person would not allow himself to fall in love with his wife or with his spouse. So God forbid, one day they would leave them, so I don't want to get hurt, so I'm not going to fall in love. I'm going to hold myself. You need counseling if that's what you do. Allow yourself, open up. Allow Kadosh Baruch Hu in his kindness and his goodness to penetrate into you. Taste emunah shlema. Taste emunah amitit. Emunah for you. Practice Judaism was not a live thing for you. You never lived it. If you would live it, if you would have the taste, as they say in Yiddish, the geschmack, the sweetness of the Torah, you would never leave it. Why? I'll tell you why. Because when you were kids, the first time that you tasted a candy is the reason why we're still obsessed with 2 sugars in our coffee today. It is sweet. You never allowed yourself the sweetness of the Torah into your mouth. You never even brought it near you. It's another problem that we do. Some people say, well, I'm not good enough. My emunah is not perfect. Since my emunah is not perfect, guess what? I am no good. And he leaves it. And we're back again to square one. It all has to do with how you think. You're being negative, you're being positive. There's no other excuses, Rabotai. This is the key to your success in life. If you are going to college, or you are working, or you do whatever you do, you're learning in Yeshiva, if you want to succeed in anything you do, do not allow yourself to be negative. Keep on pushing, be positive. You be positive, HaKadosh Baruch Hu yashpia alecha. It would pour upon you. All is good. It's not hard to go to Shidduchim. It is very easy. You're just negative. You see a person, you don't find what's good in that person. You see what's bad in that person. Like this, you would never get married. And even if you get married, it won't last. Your job, Rabotai, is the small exercise. Start finding in everyone that comes your way, Jew or Gentile, in everything that you do. Find, or whatever happens to you, find the good. Because it says, Uvacharta batov. So you ask me why the bad is there? Simply so we can choose the good. Because if there was no bad, we could never choose the good, and that would be bad. The bad is there not to choose, just to allow us, for our own, to choose the good. Uvacharta betov. Again, as I said to you, if you remember this and apply it to your lives, you're all going to be very successful, very happy. You're going to have eternal and internal peace. You're going to experience life at its best. You will not be one of the pack. You will be one of the chosen few. Uvacharta batov. That could be with the best vehicle is the Torah. Don't ever abandon the Torah. Don't ever abandon the Kadosh Baruch Hu. You are responsible for your destiny, and you are expected to choose the good. I wish you all peace.